Now, Israel has halted flights at Ben Gurion Airport after a Palestinian rocket fired from Gaza hit a building in a suburb of Tel Aviv. At least one person is reported to have been hurt. In Gaza itself, a 13-storey tower block collapsed after it was hit by an Israeli airstrike. Residents have been warned to evacuate, and it is not known if there are any casualties. So far, 28 Palestinians and 2 Israelis have been reported killed in escalating violence, despite international calls for calm. Our Foreign Affairs correspondent Jonathan Rugman has this report, and just to warn you, you may find some of the scenes distressing.
Operation Sword of Jerusalem began with Hamas firing hundreds of rockets from Gaza into Israel. Not for the first time, the glaring absence of peace talks fueling the possibility of all-out war. 80 Israeli jets retaliated with over 100 airstrikes. This is Operation Guardians of the Walls. So military action by both Israelis and Palestinians is in the name of Jerusalem, even if it was not today's battleground. Tonight, a 13-storey building in Gaza City collapsed after it was hit. Hamas was known to use an office there. It's not yet known if there were casualties. In northern Gaza, an 11-year-old boy called Hussein was among dozens of Palestinians killed. There is nothing unusual about any of this here. Hamas and Israel have fought 3 wars so far, and as per usual, Arab and UN mediators are now trying to head off a 4th, amid what many Palestinians feel is the world's utter indifference.
They kill, and there is no one to make them answer for it. The whole world is watching. It doesn't matter if they kill a child or a woman. There is no one to hold them accountable for it.
In Gaza City, this boy survived another Israeli airstrike in which the Islamic Jihad group said 3 of its members had been killed. And the despair of Palestinians will remain long after this cycle of violence has blown itself out. Israel's 14-year-old economic blockade is set to continue long after this bombing stops, along with Hamas's refusal to recognize its neighbor's very existence. And why would a new American president risk political capital by investing in yet another peace plan when so many before have failed? Israeli towns have been cowering under a barrage of Palestinian rockets fired from Gaza, though Israel's air defense system, known as Iron Dome, has intercepted over 90% of them. In the town of Ashkelon, 2 women were killed. Hamas said it had fired 137 rockets in the space of 5 minutes. One of them landed in a child's bedroom, though his father said he wasn't there. This is in part Palestinian revenge for the storming of the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound by Israeli police yesterday. And these rockets are provoking more Israeli airstrikes against what Israel insists are military targets.
At the
end of a situational assessment, it was decided that both the might and the frequency of the attacks will be increased. Hamas will be getting blows it did not expect.
Israel says it's killed at least 15 Hamas fighters, but this was the funeral of an 11-year-old child in Gaza. The tragedy behind this tragedy is that this conflict has no apparent end to it in sight.